could just grab a 2-game lead off the Bears.
The good thing is that the Bears have most of their home games in like the last half of their season, and for the Packers in the beginning. So if you think about it, the Bears have a chance, home field advantage in the last half of their season, and there they go right there. And the last half of their season, most of their easy games. So yeah, like you said, we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. Even after those first 6 games for the Bears, you have Miami, and then you go to New England, that's pretty hard too. So I'm not sure what to expect, but if everything goes right, I'm expecting 10-6, I'd say. I don't know if inching or if it's a wild card, but you look at the second half of the season for the Bears, and it's very favorable. Like you said, a lot of home games. They have Minnesota at home, Tampa Bay at home, New Orleans at home. So they have to. They need to sweep the Vikings, and they have to split. They have to at least split with the Lions and split Green Bay. But the biggest game, I think, is going to come down to Week 15. Is have New Orleans. Monday Night Football. So I'm going to say 10-6. I don't know if it's a division clinching or if it's a wild card to get in there. So, anything you want to comment on that?
I have to agree with you on that, actually. And most likely, I believe that the Bears, I can see, I don't want to go too low here, but if things don't go right, I can see at minimum 9-7. But if things go right for the Bears, I'll possibly go on a ledge here and say 11-5, but I don't want to bias and all. But between 9-7 and 11-5, we'll see the Bears. And everything have to go great. Like, we have to have a great offense. I mean, we already don't have a great offense. We have to have a great defense for the Bears to win more than 11 games next season. And if is that possible? I wouldn't say it's not, but I wouldn't say it is. I'll lean more saying it's not. But, I mean, it will be impressive to see what the Chicago Bears do next season, and I'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah, but you say 11-5. Who do you lose to? I think they lose at San Fran, and I'm going to say they lose Carolina. I'm going to say lose at New England, and I think they're going to go 1-1 with Green Bay and 1-1 with Detroit. And then I'm not sure about the New Orleans game. So yeah, like you said, 11-5, 10-6. Yeah. That's pretty predictable. I would say around there is good for the Bears.
I'll say they lose.
The only thing that I'm worried about is what?
Go ahead, man.
Oh, I was going to say, the only thing that really worries me is that run defense. Is it really improved? I mean, the backers, they're still not upgraded. We still have Shea McClellan there. I don't know what to expect from him.
They said Shea McClellan been impressive, actually.
Yeah, I hope so, because he hasn't been good. But I think they have him more as like a Clay Matthews linebacker, where he's just going after the quarterback almost every other play. We'll see that. I don't know. I'm not sure what we're going to see from Bostic or Green or any of those. Let's just hope that the linebackers are improved, run defense is better. And preseason game this Friday against the Eagles.
Yeah, my team versus yours.
Yeah, right? Hopefully you don't lose by like 35 again. I hope not.
Brag.
But the main looking for the Bears in that game is the backup quarterbacks, actually, Jordan and Jim Clausen. Just because there's not a really reliable backup right now. You look at Jimmy Clausen, and he didn't really prove much in Carolina. They a couple days ago they're talking about bringing Kyle Orton back. Emery said he's open to it. Kyle Orton which would be great because we don't know if Jay Cutler can play 16 games. So I'm looking at the backups. Definitely, that's my main focus. Is the backups for the Bears. What do you think the big thing for you is?
Honestly, I want to see how the D-line holds up. That's what I'm here. I'm focused on the D-line. And I also like about it. I'm looking at the corners. They're secondary. That's going to be interesting there because they're loaded. Literally
definitely.
Loaded.
I saw a story that Mel Tucker was praising Adrian's underrated signing because he's a former Pro Bowler. I know he still has something, and he's definitely better than Chris Conte. So we'll see that. The secondary is huge as well. I'm going to go top 3 things. I'm going to go backup quarterbacks, defensive line, and the safeties. So that's that.
Those basically the things I'm looking forward to too. So we look forward to similar things. And the Bears, the D-line probably going to have to be the most successful season for the Bears because look at the things that they've done. They went out and got a lot of players, and especially Jared Allen and Lamar Houston, those two right there. Like, the Bears did put this offseason rebuilding out D-line. Like, built the offensive line. This year, they're rebuilding the D-line. And if you think about it, the Bears, they're probably finding themselves back at the top defensive football team. But it comes down to guys wanting to play or not. Like, and then, like you said, our linebackers probably have to be upgraded sometime soon. Unless Jonathan Baez can get over that hump and just get over DJ Williams. So DJ Williams, like, he can play, but remember that like, last season they took him out like towards like the third or like second half or something and split it with Bostic, I guess, because I don't know, something. Like DJ Williams, Bostic, splitting time. Like one of them has to start. And I mean Bostic's younger, so I say give it to Bostic.
Yeah, it definitely needs to be upgraded within the next few years, draft or free agency or whatever. Like you earlier, like you said, if they have a top half defense, I definitely see the 10-6 record. If it's not, definitely. And Jay Cutler's hurt, I could see them missing the playoffs again. It relies on Jay Cutler, and also I'm pretty concerned about the backup quarterbacks. Like I said, I think they really need to bring in Kyle Orton because I don't trust Jordan Palmer and I don't trust Jimmy Clausen.
That's true.
So
David Fell, say about that. Give the Ricky a go.
Really quick, what do you think about the Andy Dalton contract?
Oh man, I mean, I'm not gonna go in on the guy because I like Dalton. He was my fantasy coach, and I had both him and AJ Green, so you know I did damage with that duo. But Andy Dalton had the weapons over there in Cincinnati. I wasn't down on him, but I think that's too much money. Like quarterbacks getting big contracts now, and like apparent to his contract to Jay Cutler's, but Jay Cutler's only guaranteed 3 years, $50+ million. And if you think about it, Andy's contract is a little bit over the hump. I say it's a lie. You can compare it back to the contract that the Ravens have gave Joe Flacco, and like teams giving their quarterbacks a big contract to have a successful season is, hey, like you said, can't say much about it. Like Andy Dalton, I'm not a Bengals fan. I don't let the Bengals fans handle going in on their quarterback because Andy Dalton and the Bengals, I don't care.
All right. Okay. If you're not going to go in on him, then I guess I'll go in on him.
Go on in.
First off, I'm looking at his playoffs. 0-3, 1 touchdown, and 6 interceptions. And if, like you said, he has weapons, but if he has the weapons, why isn't he producing in the playoffs? Touchdown and
the guy got a quarterback rating of 18 in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's unacceptable. I don't know why he's getting paid like that. But then again, it's so hard to find a quarterback like Andy Dalton or Romo or whatever in this league. Like, you can't just find them. So I think they had no other choice but to invest in him or let him walk. I mean, they paid, just like the Ravens, they paid Joe Flacco, and it looks like they're paying for it because he did not do good last year.
Did you just say Tony Romo?
What?
Did you just say it's hard to find a quarterback like Tony Romo? Well, Tony Romo is a good quarterback and all, but...
Yeah, I just mean, like, you can't start a quarterback off the streets or free agency. So, I mean, they really had no choice to pay Andy Dalton, but the salary that they paid him, I was shaking my head as soon as I heard it. I'm still focused on that 0-3 playoff record, 1 touchdown and 6 interceptions, which I'm still kind of Jay Cutler. What?
And a quarterback of 18. You always got to add that in. So that's ridiculous. Grossman would have done better than that.
It goes right back to Jay Cutler, though, because he gets that amount of money, and what's his playoff record with Chicago? Just 0-1. I forget. It's 0-1 or something like that. I don't think he has a playoff.
No, he do have a playoff. Remember the Bears went to the I forgot. The Bears went to the Super Bowl that year, but they got knocked out by the Packers behind Jay Cutler.
Oh, right.
The NFC Championship game.
So yeah.
Jay Cutler has a record with the Bears.
But anyways, the thing is quarterbacks are just going to keep getting paid like that. Just there's no after the Flacco deal. There's just everyone's expecting to get paid like that now.
That is true. That's very true, and everything's falling in now. Flacco, Cutler, Dalton. I've got there's another quarterback who got paid a lot of money, wasn't it?
Romo got paid.
Yeah, Romo. Romo, of course, Romo's gonna be paid. Like the owner from
Yeah,
Cowboys is just like
yeah,
a fantasy owner.
yeah. Okay, so I am looking at Jay Cutler's record right now. It's 1-1. Sorry for that. It's 1-1, but still, that needs to be improved, especially after this year. Well, we talked about Bulls' expectations. We said the Bears' record, but what do you think the Bears are going to do with that record? Do you think first round exit, NFC Championship game?
I see. I don't know. Like, if you think about it, it depends on what they do. If they miss the wild, I mean, hopefully they don't do wild card and just make it like a seed. Because if they do that, then they don't have to worry about no first round exit or stuff like that. So
Yeah,
hopefully the Bears. I don't know. Like the thing is, because the NFC is really good if you think about it. They have really good teams in the NFC, but I think the Bears can beat them though. Like if the Bears could somehow avoid Seattle, maybe, and avoiding Seattle probably. That's probably what the thing is. The Bears should probably beat the rest of the teams. Maybe I know the Saints are going to make it. The Bears, I put my money on the Bears facing the Saints in the playoffs. Even the Packers, the Packers make it as well. But
yeah,
in San Francisco, but I think avoiding Seattle will probably be the thing.
yeah. I think both the Bears and Packers will make it this year. I don't know which one takes the North, but
Yeah, one of them going to be wild
all
card.
all I'm thinking is the Bears, like you said, the Bears can avoid Seattle, and if they don't have to go to San Fran,
Oh yeah, definitely.
then I'm thinking the Bears could get to the NFC Championship game. They can because they're bound to see. I'm thinking playoff teams right now. I'm thinking Bears, Packers, Saints,
Seattle.
San Fran, Seattle, and probably the Eagles, and then probably
no. Well, I ain't gonna count the Eagles out.
The NFC East is not good this year. It's good and it's so bad that the Eagles can just take that with an 8-8 record.
Wow, but Atlanta, man.
Huh?
Atlanta. You counting out the Falcons?
Yeah, no.
Carolina,
I don't see
Atlanta.
No, I don't think Carolina makes it either. I think Carolina at best this year is 8-8.
Well, yeah, I think because of Steve Smith, that's probably a big loss right there.
Yeah, and D'Angelo Williams, he's bound to get hurt, and he just hasn't been the same since he got paid. If you look at that.
That's true.
But yeah, I think if the Bears can avoid going to San Fran and going to Seattle, then they have a really good chance of getting the NFC Championship game. They can beat New Orleans in the playoffs. They can beat the Eagles. They can beat whoever else, but they can beat the Packers in the playoffs too. But not. I don't think going San Fran and going to Seattle. That's trap right there. It's possible for the Bears.
I have to agree with you on everything right there. And basically, to sum everything up, the Bears this season, I wouldn't say optimism, but I'm very excited to see what happens. And I have high hopes for the Bears. And I think they'll do pretty good this season, because everything lining up in Chicago sports favors. Like, everything's going on. The Blackhawks can win anytime. Sucks right now. They're getting better. But the Bulls can win anytime. The Bulls just got way better. The Bears got better. The Bears should take, I wouldn't say any time, but the Bears are getting there where they can take any time. And just think about Chicago sports in general. Everything's starting to look up in its favor. And it'll be exciting to see what the Bears do next year. It'll be exciting to see what the Bulls do next season. I would say, okay, it's exciting to see what the Cubs and White Sox do next season. And I'm counting on the Blackhawks to win a championship next season. Like, those are my hopes for those guys. But
yeah. Go ahead.
I don't know, man. It's just a lot has to go in the Bears' favor next season for everything to fall in place for those guys and for those guys to win a championship. Because most likely, this is probably Lance Briggs' final year as a Chicago Bear. Like the way the guy talking to you, they make this much leg. Like, remember what I said last episode when he was in an interview with CSN Chicago, the guy said he's falling into tackles. Like, he's not wrapping up making tackles, he's falling onto to the opponent, tackling them. So if you think about that, like Lance Briggs, did he lose his wheels or like what is it? And the guy is like
Yeah.
he's like the center of the Bears defense right now since Brian Urlacher is gone.